Byzantium's story begins not with a birth, a singular moment of creation, but with a division, a schism that would reshape the course of history. It's a tale of two halves, diverging paths, and ultimately, the survival of one. The Roman Empire, by the late 3rd century, a colossal power that had dominated the Mediterranean world for centuries, was simply too vast, too sprawling, too complex for one ruler, one man to effectively govern. Its borders stretched from the misty shores of Britannia to the sun-baked sands of North Africa, a logistical and administrative nightmare. Diocletian's tetrarchy, a bold experiment in power-sharing, split the empire, creating a system of co-emperors and junior emperors into eastern and western halves, each with its own capital, its own administration, and its own set of challenges. This division, initially intended to strengthen the empire, ended up planting the seeds of two very different destinies, two distinct trajectories for the future. The West, increasingly vulnerable to barbarian incursions and internal strife, faced a long, slow decline into chaos and collapse, its cities sacked, its infrastructure crumbling, its authority eroding. The East, on the other hand, blessed with richer resources, a more vibrant urban culture, and a more defensible position, promised a future of relative stability and prosperity. Constantine the Great, a pivotal figure in Roman history, recognized the East's immense potential, its strategic importance, and its economic vitality. He made the momentous decision to found a new capital, a city that would bear his name, Constantinople, a beacon of hope and a symbol of renewal. Strategically located at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, Constantinople controlled vital trade routes and served as a bridge between East and West. In 330 AD, with great pomp and ceremony, he dedicated this city as the New Rome, a deliberate act of transferring power and prestige eastward. This marked a profound shift in the empire's center of gravity, a decisive move that would have lasting consequences for the future of the Roman world. After Theodosius I's death in 395, the last emperor to rule a unified Roman Empire, the empire was formally and irrevocably divided between his two sons, a decision that formalized the existing East-West split. Arcadius inherited the Eastern Roman Empire with its capital at Constantinople, while Honorius received the Western Roman Empire, ruling from Ravenna. The Western Empire, beset by internal weaknesses and external pressures, ultimately fell within a century, succumbing to the relentless waves of barbarian invasions. But the East, fortified by its strategic location, its strong economy, and its resilient army, endured, weathering the storms that engulfed its Western counterpart. The Eastern Roman Empire, which would later be known to history as Byzantium, a name derived from the ancient Greek city upon which Constantinople was built, carried the torch of Roman civilization forward, preserving its traditions, its laws, and its culture for another 1,000 years, a remarkable feat of survival and adaptation. Its people, inheritors of the Roman legacy, proudly called themselves Romans, Romaioi, a testament to their enduring connection to the past. They meticulously preserved Roman law, adapting it to their own needs and circumstances, and they continued to cultivate Roman culture and identity, ensuring its survival in the East. Constantinople, the New Rome, became a vibrant center of commerce, culture, and power, a shining example of Roman ingenuity and resilience. It was a city destined not only to survive but to thrive, to outlast its Western sibling by a millennium, becoming a beacon of civilization in a turbulent world. This was not just a new city rising from the ashes of the old. It was something far more significant. It was a new chapter for Rome itself, a continuation of its story in a new setting, with new challenges and new opportunities. The torch of Roman civilization, flickering in the west, was passed eastward, carried by the people of Constantinople, where it would burn brightly for centuries, illuminating the world with its art, its learning, and its enduring spirit. The Byzantine Empire, in essence, was born from division, a consequence of the Roman Empire's unwieldy size and the pressures it faced. But it thrived through dedication, the unwavering commitment of its people to preserving their heritage, and through adaptation, their ability to evolve and innovate in the face of changing circumstances. Its legacy, a rich tapestry of art, architecture, law, and culture, would shape the world for generations to come, influencing everything from religious thought to political institutions. Its influence would continue to resonate long after the old Rome had fallen into ruin, its glory fading into the mists of time. The story of Byzantium is, therefore, much more than just a tale of survival. It is the story of Rome's second life, a testament to the enduring power of civilization and the human spirit. Constantinople's strength lay in its geography. Built on a peninsula surrounded by water on three sides, it was a natural fortress. The Theodosian walls, a triple-layered defense, made land assaults nearly impossible. A massive sea chain blocked enemy fleets from the Golden Horn, protecting the city's harbor. These defenses withstood sieges for centuries, earning Constantinople the title Queen of Cities. Inside, the city flourished as a hub of trade, culture, and wealth. Its invincible walls became a symbol of Roman endurance and divine favor. Constantinople's security allowed the empire to survive while others fell. The Byzantine emperor stood at the apex of power, an absolute ruler, wielding authority that touched every facet of life within the empire. His decrees were law, his decisions final. This immense power was legitimized by the belief that he was God's representative on earth, divinely appointed to lead and guide his people. The emperor was not merely a political figure, but a sacred one. This autocracy, this system of one-man rule, was not born in a vacuum. It was carefully built on the foundations of Roman law, a legal tradition that stretched back centuries. This legal framework culminated in the monumental achievement of Justinian's Corpus Juris Civilis, a comprehensive codification of Roman law. This Corpus Juris Civilis, a legal code that not only governed Byzantium but also profoundly shaped the legal landscape of Europe for centuries to come, influencing legal systems and thought across the continent. But law alone was not enough. A vast, professional bureaucracy was essential to translate the emperor's will into action. This intricate network of officials ensured the emperor's will was carried out across the vast expanse of the empire, from the bustling capital to the remote provinces. Taxes were efficiently collected, and order was meticulously maintained throughout the realm. The civil service, theoretically meritocratic, offered opportunities for advancement based on skill and knowledge, rather than solely on birth or connections. This professional administration provided stability and continuity, even during periods of weak or ineffective reigns, ensuring the empire's survival through turbulent times. While the emperor held immense power, it was not unlimited. His power was balanced by deep-rooted institutions, long-standing traditions, and the influence of the church. This unique combination of absolute authority, vested in the emperor, and a resilient, well-organized administration, capable of implementing his policies, was a key factor that made Byzantium remarkably durable, allowing it to withstand centuries of challenges and transformations. The Roman legacy of governance, with its emphasis on law, order, and efficient administration, was undoubtedly a crucial secret to its survival, providing the framework for a stable and enduring empire. Order and law, meticulously enforced and consistently applied, were the very backbone of the empire, providing the structure and stability that allowed Byzantium to flourish for over 1,000 years. Byzantium's economic power was legendary. The gold solidus, stable for centuries, became the world's trusted currency. Constantinople's location at the crossroads of trade routes brought wealth from east and west. The state controlled key industries, regulated trade, and taxed commerce, ensuring steady revenue. Silk production became a state monopoly, boosting imperial coffers. This wealth funded armies, diplomacy, and grand projects like the Hagia Sophia. Economic strength gave Byzantium options, paying enemies, building defenses, and supporting culture. The empire's prosperity set it apart in a fractured world. Trade, currency, and statecraft powered Byzantium for centuries. Byzantium blended Roman structure with Greek culture. Greek became the official language, and education flourished, with literacy widespread in cities. The University of Constantinople preserved ancient Greek texts, fueling the later Renaissance. Byzantine art, especially mosaics and icons, sought to inspire awe and devotion, not realism. The Hagia Sophia's dome symbolized the empire's spiritual and architectural genius. Byzantium scholars bridged classical wisdom and Christian faith, creating a unique civilization. Its cultural legacy would echo long after its fall. Orthodox Christianity was the heart of Byzantine identity. The emperor was both ruler and protector of the faith, uniting church and state. The Patriarch of Constantinople led the church, but tensions with the emperor and theological disputes shaped politics. Ecumenical councils defined doctrine, while the victory of icons shaped Orthodox worship. The Great Schism of 1054 split East and West, deepening mistrust and setting the stage for future conflict. Faith unified the empire, but religious divisions would haunt its destiny. The church was Byzantium's glue, and sometimes its fault line. Byzantium's survival depended on military innovation and strategy. Greek fire, a secret naval weapon, repelled invaders and saved the city from destruction. The theme system created local militias, providing resilient defense and rapid mobilization. The army combined heavy cavalry, skilled infantry and archers, guided by sophisticated tactics and manuals. Diplomacy and espionage were as vital as swords, buying time and peace. This layered defense made Byzantium Europe's shield for centuries. Adaptability and cunning kept the empire alive in a hostile world. Byzantium's golden ages defined its legacy. Under Justinian, the empire briefly reunited the Mediterranean, built the Hagia Sophia, and codified Roman law. The Macedonian dynasty brought military resurgence, economic prosperity, and a cultural renaissance. Basil II, the Bulgar slayer, expanded the empire's borders and crushed rivals. Missionaries Cyril and Methodius spread Orthodox Christianity and literacy to the Slavs. These eras saw Byzantium at its zenith, wealthy, powerful, and influential. The empire's achievements shaped Europe and the Orthodox world. Its golden ages were beacons in medieval history. Byzantium's decline was not a sudden collapse but rather a slow and agonizing process, a gradual fading of its former glory. Like a once mighty tree succumbing to disease, the empire withered from within, its branches slowly losing their leaves. Internal strife, fueled by power struggles and dynastic rivalries and the erosion of the theme system, the very backbone of its military and administrative organization, weakened the state considerably. Corruption festered, and the once efficient bureaucracy became a source of frustration and instability. The catastrophic defeat at Manzikert in 1071, a day of infamy etched in Byzantine history, shattered the empire's power, dealing a blow from which it would never fully recover. The imperial army, once the terror of the East, lay in ruins. This defeat opened the floodgates, allowing Turkish tribes to pour into Asia Minor, the empire's heartland, leading to its gradual conquest. The Fourth Crusade in 1204 brought the ultimate betrayal, a dagger thrust into the empire's heart by supposed allies. Latin crusaders, driven by greed and ambition, brutally sacked Constantinople, unleashing an orgy of violence and destruction. This act crippled the empire, leaving it fractured and vulnerable, a mere shadow of its former self. Though the Byzantines managed to reclaim their ravaged city decades later, piecing together the remnants of their shattered realm, they never truly recovered their former strength or prestige. The wounds of the Fourth Crusade ran too deep. Surrounded by enemies on all sides, both Christian and Muslim, the once vast empire shrank to a mere shadow of its former self, a small enclave clinging to survival. Finally, in 1453, Sultan Mehmed II's formidable Ottoman army, a force of immense power and ambition, breached the ancient walls of Constantinople, the seemingly impregnable bulwark that had protected the city for over 1,000 years. This occurred after a long and heroic siege, during which the defenders fought with unwavering courage against overwhelming odds. The last emperor, Constantine II Palaiologos, died a hero's death defending his city, refusing to surrender even in the face of certain defeat. With his fall, the Roman Empire in its Byzantine form was no more, its long and illustrious history brought to a definitive end. Byzantium's fall marked not only the end of an empire, but also the end of an era, a symbolic closing of the medieval age. It heralded the dawn of a new world, one dominated by rising nation-states and shifting power dynamics. Yet its legacy, a rich tapestry of art, culture, religion and law, would endure far beyond its crumbling walls, continuing to shape the world for centuries to come.